All right, welcome back to the Real Late Show. I'm Chris. Got Craig with me. Craig had a couple of food things I wanted to talk to you about a little
Yeah,
bit. In Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Indiana, we got some E. coli going around. Um,
yeah, yum.
yeah. Ugh. Well, and this is rough. Sometimes my wife's back to school, and it's just sometimes it's hard. We have to run out and grab something. We don't really. They're saying this E. coli is predominantly around Wendy's. Like if you have a salad or if you had romaine lettuce. I think I
Okay.
may have ate romaine lettuce in the past week or so.
Oh,
But I feel okay.
okay. Well, that's a good sign.
Right before the podcast, I had to spend a lot of time in the bathroom. I know too much information, but it was days after I ate that. So I think
Okay. Okay.
E. coli would have caught up with you quick, right?
That I don't really know. I would think so. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know how serious it can be, but I would think it's kind of like a food poisoning type thing where it probably wouldn't take very long to set in on you.
Now, this is as of, I think there was an update today, but as of last week, they were talking about 37 reported cases of E. coli. At least 10 were hospitalized. It
Yeah.
says it's a fast moving E. coli. I don't know. Oh, look at this. It takes up to 4 weeks to determine if the illness is part of an outbreak. And
Hmm.
sometimes people don't require medical attention.
Okay. Well,
So it's like COVID, where you could get COVID now, but not show any symptoms at all for a couple of days.
I guess that's. I mean, hopefully it's tame. I mean, I always hear of E. coli, and you don't really know how severe it can be. But obviously, with 10 hospitalizations, and it's weird though because it seems like it's spread out. Wood County, Lucas County, those are near each other. Okay, but then Mahoning and Clearmont and Cuyahoga and Franklin, Lorain and Summit, like it seems like it's kind of running all over the place in Ohio, anyway.
Well, here's what gets really scary. And look, I like eating out. Poor Wendy's. I'm not always a fan of their customer service, but you know, I don't want to pick on any restaurant, but I'll tell you, Craig, it's weird. I mean, maybe we eat out. All of us eat out way too much. Maybe we need to stop eating out. But one of the things we've talked about after COVID is, it's harder to find workers, and sometimes you
Oh,
get bad customer service at night. I look at some of these tips at the end of a story. I mean, yeah, they're pretty much common sense, but here's the other thing, man. Okay, if you don't have enough workers at night, people are rushed, people may not be focused or anything. Sometimes, you gotta be careful with your food preparation. And if this is all happening in Wendy's, I'm not sure if it's a food prep issue, if the way the food comes. Because they talk about a lot of the prevention tips are proper hygiene and food handling practices. So, you know, I
yeah.
I tell you, you get a little nervous, Craig. You know,
Yes.
my wife gets mad. We go through the line, and she's all like, "Well, I can't believe they're that bad." I'm like, "Okay, you're in the middle of COVID, and you're paying somebody 10, $12 of working late at night in downtown." I mean,
Yeah.
that's what scares me a little bit with E. coli.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, hopefully it doesn't, break out even more, but kind of makes you nervous about going places, especially knowing that it happened at a Wendy's. Now, hopefully it doesn't spread here to Tennessee, but definitely gives you a little bit of pause to think that something could happen.
Yeah, let me check. I thought I saw an update today. Craig, this is what we get when we actually pick our stories early. Yeah, sometimes we miss the updates. The Columbus Dispatch did a updated story from the great Titus Wu,
Mhm.
talking about today there were 5 additional cases of E. coli. I think there's 4 hospitalized in Ohio. No deaths have been reported. Individuals in Ohio range in age from 8 to 82.
Mm.
11 men and 8 women apparently have been affected. Wendy's are saying they're quickly removing the romaine lettuce as a precaution.
Okay, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, so best of luck there. Yeah, don't fool around with E. coli. I know sometimes we like to joke around about some stuff. Yeah, be careful out there. And if you're working around food, if you're making food for your family at home, or if you're working one of these jobs, be careful. I mean, I don't always use the best food handling practices myself, and be careful. You don't want to make your family sick, or you don't want to make other people sick if you're working at one of these restaurants at night. I mean, come on. Be careful out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to talk about food, but again, this is very different. It's hard to talk about E. coli at Wendy's and say, hey, let's talk about another restaurant. But let's do that. So, okay, we're breaking here. This has nothing to do with the story before. Craig, I forgot to send you the link, but you can look it up on USA Today. Did you see the story about how there is a test at McDonald's? I think it's going to start in Florida, but there's a lot of talk saying it might go across the country. Have you heard they're trying chicken Big Macs?
I've seen people order like a chicken Big Mac, but not. I mean, it's kind of like a menu hack where basically they order chicken sandwich, like a chicken sandwich meat for the Big Mac buns and the sauce and all that kind of stuff. So I'm guessing that maybe that stems from the popularity of people like ordering. How we did the video where they would substitute the normal Big Mac meat for the quarter pounder meat and stuff like that. So maybe
Yeah.
that's possible that it started from that.
Well, it's a hack here in the U.S., but apparently it's a menu item in the
Okay.
United Kingdom. They tried it earlier this year. I guess there's a lot of good feedback. It sold out over there in less than 2 weeks. Now, here's the interesting thing. Now, I've eaten way too many Big Macs than I care to admit. I don't like the Big Mac sauce. So when I do the Big Mac, I say very light on the sauce. When they put a ton on it, it just tastes gross.
Yeah.
But here's the interesting thing. They make it out of two crispy chicken patties. I don't know if it would be a bad taste. I'm not sure what that would taste like, though.
Yeah, I mean it. Well, I guess it's like a Thousand Island dressing, so I suppose it would be like having a salad with chicken in it, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not a big sauce fan. And I know a lot of other people like sauce. If you like sauce, that's fine. But kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it would be better if it was the grilled chicken. Maybe you can ask for grilled chicken.
Well, I think you could probably substitute whatever you wanted. I mean, you had to pay for it, but I would think, like, because we saw the hack with the quarter pounder patties. So I would think you could probably do fish if you felt like doing fish.
Yeah. The McDonald's CEO, Chris Kempczynski, I think that's what we say his name. He says chicken continues to be a significant opportunity for us. It's a priority for our company. He says they've got great global equities in the McNuggets and McChicken. And, they're looking at the McCrispy and the McSpicy.
Okay.
Breaking news there. Wow.
Well, yeah, the chicken sandwich wars continue, I suppose.
Yeah. They're saying it is starting definitely in Florida. They're not announcing yet that it's going to be across the country, but they say it could be happening. So,
Okay.
it was very strange. I remember when this is before I moved down here to Columbus. Columbus used to be a test market for a lot of different stuff. I remember my debate team. We did a overnight trip to Cincinnati. We went to McDonald's to eat halfway there when I was in high school, and McDonald's was doing pizza at the time. And Craig, this is how old I am. It was '93 when I was a senior in high school, and Craig, it was crazy that you could have McDonald's pizza. It was just tested at the Columbus McDonald's at the time. Yeah,
Okay.
Columbus used to be a big food testing area in the country. I haven't noticed that much recently, but I guess it used to be you could try all kinds of different stuff at the food places.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I know that I think I remember the pizza at McDonald's. I think it might have gotten an expansion out beyond the Columbus markets because I think I remember
Yeah.
pizza at my McDonald's in Willard, and I know that they used to have a lot of other things, mixed spaghetti, and they had birthday cakes and stuff like that. So they had a lot of stuff that obviously is defunct now, which kind of sucks because it'd be kind of cool to be able to just go get pizza at McDonald's if you wanted some.
Yeah, at the time it was strange because it was like '93. You're right; they did try that more as time went on. I guess you can still get the McDonald's pizza at they have the world's largest McDonald's in Orlando, I believe, and I
Okay.
think you can get the pizza down there. I'm not sure if it's McPizza or if they just serve pizza with their meals. I mean, it's a really
Right.
big McDonald's and everything. So
Okay.
wow, kind of weird. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm looking at this picture of a chicken Big Mac. I'm just not sure, Craig. I'm not
Yeah.
grossed out, but I'm not excited about this.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm not. I don't know that it's really that. It's. I don't know if it's really breaking new ground, but the iconic Big Mac is obviously something that I think will draw the allure of people, and they'll want to go to McDonald's and try out the chicken Big Mac just because it's the Big Mac in a chicken form.
Wow. A couple of food things I was going to tell you about. Ugh. Oh, this is crazy, Craig. Darren Ravel, a popular sports business reporter, just tweeted something very strange. Let me send it to you quick, Craig.
Okay.
We got a few minutes here. Craig, you should have in your private chat. It's a video of a guy. He's sticking his straw into a hot dog at a baseball game.
Yeah, I've seen this on Twitter. I was on Twitter before we got on, and I saw this, and I thought, wow, that's just. See, I don't know if you're like that drunk to where you think
Yeah.
that'd be a good idea, or if that's actually like a good. I've seen people like I actually have seen people at a
Oh.
ballpark dunking a hot dog with the bun in the beer. So I mean, I don't know if that's a thing or what, but yeah, it's disgusting. But I did see this a little bit before we got on earlier tonight.
Oh, okay. So he's using the straw to kind of hole into the hot dog.
Yeah,
And
hollow it
he's putting the
out.
hot dog into the beer. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Wow.
I don't.
That's
I mean, do you really want to drink a beer through a hot dog straw? I mean, is that a good flavor combination?
I think putting a hot dog in any type of liquid is kind of strange.
That's very
Uh,
disgusting. Yes.
because we've talked to the guy who represented Ohio in the food eating contest, currently on hot dog, and he admitted that in these hot dog eating contests you're putting hot dogs in water, and I
Yeah,
was
that's
like
gross. Yeah,
that's gag worthy. And he's like, yeah, it is, but you just have to.
you just got to do it.
Yeah, he didn't seem too excited about the whole idea. There's another picture that I'm trying to find for you real quick. Yeah, I don't see it now. It was like Wisconsin. They had like this gummy bear hot dog where the gummy bears were like, the toppings on a hot dog. It just looked disgusting. And again, it's a
Yeah,
state fair, so I think at the state fairs they get all excited and want to do, lots of different crazy stuff. But it's like, come on,
yeah,
that's just bizarre, very strange. All right,
yeah.
well, let's know what you think out there. Craig and I could be finicky at times with our food, so maybe we're
Yeah.
the strange people. But yeah, I'm not sure about it. So I guess our takeaways: be careful about E. coli. I want to know what you think about the chicken Big Mac.
Yeah.
Leave your hot dogs out of any type of liquid. That's just weird.
Yes, please.
And then just don't eat gummy bears at all. And if you must eat gummy bears, don't put them on a hot dog. That's
Yeah,
just weird.
yeah,
All right. So all kinds of stuff coming up. Looks like Craig and the great Bob Garver can get back together
yeah.
for some more movie reviews. George Thomas talking streaming. I always like when George talks streaming. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
We got
absolutely.
we gotta find George. We've got guests potentially lined up. I think we got another week after next Monday before the NFL season starts. I'm gonna
Yeah,
reach out to George, or maybe since you talk to
yeah,
George more now, maybe we can get George on and say, okay, come on for a half hour and we'll yell about football. It's always fun to do that with George. I
yeah.
like getting George mad. George used to scare me when I worked with him a long time ago, get him mad, but now it's fun to get George mad. And let's see, what else? So many segments over the past couple. Um, I think, Craig, you and I talked about this before. You got uncomfortable. We were talking with my other podcast host, Paul and Joe. Man, we had a crazy night. We were talking about the couple who had sex in a
Yeah, yeah,
Ferris
I see your
wheel.
point. Yeah,
And then the woman in Fremont who crashed their car trying to get away from from forging a check or something. They just drove off until they ran out of gas. It was kind of
yeah,
weird. And then you never know with Paul and Joe. They talk about some strange stuff, and we'll
absolutely.
we'll do some more Steelers talk. We're trying to get two segments out of the Steelers. Talk about the previous game. Trying to give you a preview of what I'm going to be talking about this week. Steelers defeated the Jags. Their offensive line looked pretty rough, and Kenny Pickett looked good. I mean, there's more we could say, but I guess that's the two headlines from that. And then, getting ready for the big Steelers-Lions preseason game.
Yeah,
I think that's at Pittsburgh, right?
I think so. Yeah,
A rematch of the worst football game I've ever seen last year when the
yeah.
Steelers and Lions tied. Oh
The
my,
tie. Yeah,
very weird. Hopefully they'll tie again. They'll probably tie again. You never know. It'll be fun. All right. Anything else, Craig? We need to
no,
mention or
no,
hawk?
I don't think so. No.
Again, just remember Cash App. Just a great way of saving money and just saving money and saving money back and forth to each other. Next week, Craig, I'm close to having YouTube TV as a sponsored affiliate, and Craig,
Yeah.
you laugh every time I talk about YouTube TV. So there's a way you can save on YouTube TV. I gotta just set up the link. Hopefully, we'll have it ready to go next week. Man, there's something that I'm going to forget about as soon as we sign off here, but I can't think of it now, so let's just sign off. For Craig, this is Chris. Thanks for checking out the Really Late Show. Have a great night and a great week, everybody. Have a good one.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mooney. Welcome to what is our new Hope Interrupted podcast based on the work from our book, Hope Interrupted, that I co-authored with my good friend Byron McCauley.
Hey, Jennifer, I'm looking forward to this podcast as much as I was looking forward to writing this book with you. We hope to interview some high impact folks as well as have a little fun.
We're going to cover stories of hope. To learn more about our podcast and our book, please visit www.hopeinterrupted.com.